Johannesburg called Mama, I Want the Black That You Are. It's based on interviews and the real lives of people living with albinism. Well, for more, we're now joined by the Minister of Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa, live from our studio in Cape Town. Minister, thank you for being with us. Before we get to that, can I ask you for a quick comment on what's happening in the Northwest Province tonight? Sukra Mahumapelo is still the Premier, in defiance, seemingly, of the national leadership which you are a part of.
Well, we were in the cabinet meeting and I went to other meeting. I came straight here. I have not been following what is happening, so I came rushing here.
All right, so no comment on him still being
from the point of view of government, yeah.
Point of view of being a member of the ANC's National Executive Committee?
Yes, well, there is a spokesperson. I'm sure there would have been interaction with the ANC by now. There is somebody who will speak on behalf of the African National Congress.
All right, Minister, so please tell us about this production, Mama, I Want the Black That You Are. Why is government supporting this?
Well, we've got to because people with albinism are living a difficult life, and it is happening across the continent. But we have seen here in South Africa particularly this hatred, meted against people with albinism growing by the day. And we are saying that we are taking a stance as government to educate society to desist believing in some of these myths about people with with albinism, because it's not true that all the kind of myths which are concocted, that if they kill them, if they get their body parts, they will bring luck and so on. The United Nations itself has recognized the importance of waging a campaign against this barbaric act, which dedicated the 13th of June as this International Day on Albinism. So coming as it does in our country during Africa Month, we can't explain it in any other way except to say that this is one self-hate which has to be eliminated across the face of society.
So I understand you're sponsoring this, going across schools in Gauteng. Is there a bigger program here, though? Surely this should be nationwide.
No, it's nationwide. We are targeting, for starters, at least 15 schools, in each province. So that we use theatre, we use arts, we use culture to highlight this, but we are also calling on everybody in society to join this campaign, because the campaign itself is a hashtag albinism activism campaign. So we will be continuing from here, and we'll be working with all in society to ensure that we start our campaign, especially in those provinces where this scourge has taken a high proportion, as it were.
Minister, beyond school kids, we know traditional healers have been implicated in murders in the past in South Africa. This is a cultural issue. How are you going to deal with it on a broader level?
Well, it's not a cultural issue. It's a criminal issue. It's some mythology where people come up with these things to justify things they don't know don't exist. There are things like that people with albinism do not die, they disappear. One 28-year-old man who passed on recently in Mpumalanga People went to his grave to ransack his grave, which shows that that's a myth. So our society must be informed that they cannot associate themselves with such a barbaric act, because it takes us back as a society, and we have to do everything in our power, because today is somebody else's child. Tomorrow it will be yourself. It's not guaranteed that you may not have somebody or give birth to somebody with albinism, because it's a condition which affects people with this kind of situation.
Final question. Reportedly, body parts are not only being harvested but exported to other African countries. Are we working with African neighbours on this?
Absolutely. This is a government project which has multidisciplinary participation. Social development is also playing a key role. The Deputy Minister of Social Development, together with activists in this sector, visited one of our neighboring countries, for instance, where one of our own here was killed, maimed in South Africa, and some of the body parts were taken to that particular country, leaving other parts of the body here in the country. So you can see, when I say barbaric act, we're talking about such gory things which our society cannot afford to fold arms and let this thing happen. It has to be stopped.
All right, thank you very much, Minister of Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa. That theatre production in Joburg Theatre, Mama, I Want the Black That You Are, and he said if you'd like to show support, hashtag albinism activism campaign on Twitter.